What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. Today, we're going to answer a video challenge. Now, I got tagged. Let's see, who tagged me? Blade Banter tagged me. And I think this was originally started by Paddys potato peelers. And, you know, guys, I apologize that I act like I have no idea what's going on. It's basically because I have no idea what's going on. With my new job, I am so out of the loop right now. I did not realize until today, the day before, that this was the weekend that the Blade Show was going on. And I used to religiously follow the Blade Show, and I've been to quite a few myself. I had totally even forgotten about that. But let's get back to the challenge here. This is a 3-knife challenge, and basically what it is, the first knife is the cheapest knife in your collection, one that you got at a really, really low price that turned out to be a great value for whatever reason. The second knife is going to be your best value knife, and that is a knife that has a value in hand much higher than its cost. The return was just much greater than what you paid for it. And then the third knife is your most expensive knife. And this is really a good challenge because people have different let's see, specialized collections. They have different price ranges in their collections. So everybody, they pull these 3 knives, and you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to have a wide range from cheapest to most expensive, and then your best value in between, and it's going to be skewed one direction or another. You know, somebody that the average price in their collection is $400 is going to have a way different, you know, best cheap knife than somebody whose average price range in their collection is $50. So it's very entertaining to see what everybody's got going on. So for the cheapest knife, what I'm going to pull out here is something I don't think I've featured this. And I do not know the model. Let's check out the markings on this. There's no model markings or anything on this. You can see it as a cold steel product. This is a Zytail handled lockback folder, which sort of a spear leafy sort of shaped blade with an opening hole in it, an eye-shaped opening hole. This knife is in carbon V. Is it in carbon V? It's in carbon V, so it is carbon steel blade, and it is American made, an American made cold steel. And this knife was actually made for cold steel by the original Camillus company. And Camillus was out of New York, one of the oldest surviving cutlery manufacturers in the United States. They have since gone out of business, and then the Camillus name has been bought by somebody, I don't even know. And now new knives are made under it. But this is from the original Camillus, made in the United States. And this is the cheapest knife in my collection. I paid, I think, $2.50 for this knife. And really the only reason I was able to even get a hold of this knife, at the time I was working for Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And Smoky Mountain Knife Works being the largest knife store in the world, the owner of that place, his name is Kevin, he gets a lot of warehouse buyout deals, and when Camillus went out of business, he was allowed to go in with a team, and they bought out a lot of stuff that was sitting in their warehouses and in their manufacturing facilities. So not only did we come up with complete knives that hadn't seen the light of day for years, but he came up with just tons of materials, you know, loose blades in all different stages of manufacture, loose handle materials. We just had tons of this stuff coming through the store. So I was able to grab this. Now, this cheap knife has a great value to me. And it's not in that it's a super usable knife. In fact, I don't use it at all. For me, what it is It's a view of a long lost, not too awful long, but a lost part of knife manufacturing world, in that it was made by the original Camelus company, which is out of business and no longer exists. It's a cold steel product, but was made in the United States, which you do not see that often. There have been some, but they're few and far between. And it is a carbon steel bladed small lockback folder, and it's a very, very simple little folder, but I paid $2.50 for that, and it has a great deal of value to me because of those reasons. All right, I'm going to set that out there. Now, my next knife is my value knife, and really in my collection, this one, as far as value goes, it's the top of the heap, and that is the Rake P801SB. All right, P801SB. You see all the markings here. It's in 14C28 on a stainless frame lock build with a bearing pivot, and it is an incredibly smooth, incredibly well made knife, and an incredible value. I paid $29.99 for this knife. I do have a full review of this knife on my YouTube channel, and I did break that stuff down to playlists, so just go to my knife reviews playlist and scroll down through it, and you will find this pretty quickly. A fantastic, fantastic knife, just a super high value at $29.99. A great blade steel in Sandvik 14C28, a bearing pivot build on a flipper. Just the fit and finish, guys, is absolutely, I want you to look down in the cut for the lock bar here and see how clean that cut is. You don't see machining marks, you don't see anything. The fit and finish on this knife is absolutely fantastic, guys. Just that at $29.99 is to me a bargain, but you get the great blade steel, you get the great action. Again, you know, it's a flipper on a bearing pivot, and look at that full flat grind on that pointy drop point configuration. And I want you to take a look at the edge on this. Now, if you look at any Rake videos from other reviewers, you're always going to see them comment on the quality of the edge. The quality, that right there is the factory edge. This has not been resharpened by me. It has not been touched up. It has not been polished. They come with a semi-polished edge, guys, and it is very well done. It is a much more refined edge than you will find on anything in the $29.99 price range, guys, or at least that I have found. And all of those things together at that price point make this my value knife representative in this 3-knife challenge. Now, in my collection, I've had a lot of expensive knives come through my collection, guys, and unfortunately most of them before I started my channel. In fact, all of my custom stuff had come and gone before I started my channel. But I've been really blessed in my collection. I do have my last custom piece that is still in my collection, and it is my most expensive knife. And I had this knife built in 2008 and delivered to me at the Blade Show in 2008. Again, the Blade Show. And this is a Pat and Wes Crawford Casper fighting folder. And this is my standard that I use for folding fighter style knives, for defensive knives, guys. It is a titanium frame lock with a CPMS 30V blade. Look at this, guys. And I want you to take a look at the handle here. Take a real good look at that handle. All kinds of snail trails, polished right up here. I carry this knife a lot. It has been resharpened multiple times. Yeah. This is a fantastic knife, guys. And in 2008, I paid, I believe it was $550 for this knife. I think this basic frame lock build of the Casper folding fighter now in 2018 goes around $600 or $650. I'm not sure, but it, you know, depending on blade steels and how fancy you have it built. But I think the basic entry is about $600 or $650 and worth every penny, guys. It is butter smooth. The only thing about this knife that I would change is I've grown in being a knife enthusiast and learned what I like and dislike is that I would have preferred it with the different pocket clip orientation. Right now it is in tip down orientation only for right hand carry, and I will probably send this in and have Wes Crawford go ahead and drill and tap this for tip up carry eventually, guys. There's so much to do in life, I never get it all done. But this knife is incredible, guys, incredible. And it is my most expensive knife. All right, so we've got my cheapest that I paid $2.50 for. We've got my high value here that I paid $29.99 for, and I think is easily 40, let's say at least $40 worth of return on that, if not slightly more. And then my most expensive knife here is a custom made by Pat and Wes Crawford, and the Casper is just such a fantastic design. All right, guys, and there you go. We're going to keep this fairly short and keep it simple, and I honestly am so far out of the loop. I do not know who has been or has not been tagged in this. I'm pretty sure that Slicey Dicey has not been tagged, so that's who I'm going to tag in this. So if anybody sees this, send word to Slicey Dicey if I don't get a hold of him, and let him know he's been tagged in this. Patty, I appreciate you starting this, buddy. I love taking a different look at the knives in my collection because, you know, there's so many different ways to look at a knife. I can pull this out of my collection and I can go, I really love this design, I love this aspect, I love that aspect, and I can put it back. And then for this review, I can pull this out and I can go, okay, well, you get this and you get that and you get this, and it's at this price, and you typically don't see that until a much higher price. So in that respect, I'm pulling it out and looking at it from a value respect at that point, rather than just I like the look of it, or I like the features. And as always, you know, the only really custom that's left in my collection right now, I always love to revisit the Casper for whatever reason, guys. It's just a beautiful knife. And you know, of course, for $2.50, a piece of history, you can't beat that, guys. American made, cold steel, made by the original Camelus company that will never exist again, probably. And there you go. All right, Slicey Dicey, let's see what you got, brother. As always, I appreciate all of you taking the time to view one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.